Hey Laurel, thank you very much for joining me today to talk about your crowdfunding campaign, which really excitingly at the moment has 3 days left. Do you want to just, introduce yourself and tell the listeners a little bit about, what you're crowdfunding for?
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and thanks for having me, Jess. I'm Laurel, the CEO and co-founder of Sustainably. We are building a platform that makes it really easy for you to have a positive impact every day, connected to the retailers that you shop at and where you work. And we are crowdfunding at the moment so we can add more good causes, reach more new users, and build our business platform, which we're in discussion with major brands at the moment about. So a really exciting time. It's actually closing in a couple of days, so we're coming to the end of it, and we're overfunded at the moment with I think nearly 300 investors, which is great.
Yeah, I checked this morning, you were on like 303,000 from 270 investors, and you're live on Crowdcube. So my first question really is like, why did you decide to crowdfund?
Yeah, I guess we are really building a community. So having individuals who are actually personally invested in that was, a really core thing for us to do. So we knew we wanted to do crowdfunding at some point. And it just felt like the right time. We had, a lead investor, we got the product in the market, we kind of really just wanted to go for it to get more awareness as well as to build the B2B platform, so kind of raising funding for that as well. So yeah, it's been, I guess it's just figuring out when is the right time and having that, that core investor that you can hit the ground running with.
Yeah, and so your campaign went live in the middle of January. If we step back in time a bit, when did you decide to crowdfund? When did you start like kind of working on the campaign ahead of that launch date?
Yeah, so I guess we started working on all the assets that we need really way before the end of last year, planning out all the different comms, like deciding kind of what we're going to do at all the different update stages, all the different channels that we're going to use, the creative assets. So there was a lot of different planning involved in what we're doing. So yeah, I guess it takes a while to kind of get everything together that you need, and then make sure that you're activating everything. So there's a lot of investor outreach, there's a lot of investor conversations, there's video assets, there's PR, there's emails, there's updates on crowd. There's a lot to do, so you have to kind of make sure that you have a really solid plan for doing all of that. And then also some of the things that you think you might happen, you just have to have contingencies.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a backup plan, and also realize that you have to do all your sort of pre-registration commitments as well before that. So yeah, making sure that you get your website with your data capture, and I've done a lot of that before you hit the go live button for your private live. So yeah, there's quite a lot to do, but thankfully, because a lot of people have done it, there's a kind of step process and a lot of help from the crowdfunding platforms. We've got a great account manager at Crowdcube that's really helped us through it as well. So it's been super good.
Yeah, that's good. And then when you decided to like commit to crowdfunding from it just being an idea to actually, okay, now we've got to go and do all this work. Was that quite a scary leap, or was that just kind of, well, this is the next thing?
Yeah, I think it was worse when you're thinking about it than when you actually go hit the button, because and also because you can't do it on your own. Like there was multiple people in our team, and we got external help. So we definitely had people who were just, let's get this done. I think it's worse if you think I'm going to have to do all of this on my own, because you can't. There's just no way. It takes like a squad of people to do it, from kind of all the email content, and then even just the data, so segmenting the data, like who's invested, who's not invested, just kind of silly things that you just think, well, that will be easier, but it maybe isn't. And then all the social media updates and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot we've got a great team, which is really good. And, you know, just making sure that when you're doing things, we got other people to review it as well. So it's kind of you're just getting help from experts that know what they're doing, rather than just trying to guess it, because there's a formula to it.
Yeah, I always think, like, you know, with crowdfunding, a lot of people think about your external money giving crowd, but in actual fact, like, you need that internal crowd as well, with all the different kind of expertise to be helping you along the way too.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You really do.
And so with the crowdfunding, with the prep, with all the different elements, which bit would you say was like the hardest part for you guys?
Yeah. Well, we have a great story to tell. You know, we're solving a problem that people have. They want to give to good causes, but it's just not easy enough, and they want to be able to see their impact. And we're creating a really simple way for that to happen. And at the same time, we're also enabling brands to connect and engage in more meaningful ways, and for good causes to fundraise in this really difficult time. So I guess it wasn't kind of telling the story. It's just because I guess you're trying to build your brand from where there's not much awareness. Obviously, we're a startup, to kind of getting that message distilled into really key points that people will go, oh, I get what they do, I like it, I want to read more. So I think it's just kind of getting all your messaging in order, and then it sort of just flows from that, because you know you've got to like keep on doing all the outreach basically. I think one of the harder things is just the volume of comms you have to do, because that I didn't realize, because at Crowdcube they say, you know, it takes up to 5 emails to convert someone who's like even pre-registered on your website, and it's like, well, why? But you know, people are so busy that they're kind of I guess they're not thinking the way that you're thinking, you know, so you have to kind of, it's reinforcing that message. It's just like, obviously the world of advertising and marketing is all about reinforcing the message. So it's a kind of similar thing, but you obviously have a time deadline, which is good, because you couldn't kind of do this for longer, I don't imagine.
No.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's definitely good, but you need to have your ducks in a row before you hit the button.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we always say as well. And then you obviously had your lead investor, which is, you know, great. How hard do you think it was, you know, in order to bring investors on, both because of the pandemic and maybe not being able to like meet them face to face, but also because, you know, it is kind of more impact investing. It is for good causes. It's not just like another beer, another fintech thing. Did you have any struggles with either of those elements?
Yeah, I think that it's obviously hard to raise funding, particularly I guess with the pandemic, because you can't meet people face to face like you say, but we've had lots of conversations with investors. We have really good investors that we are really supportive of what we're doing. So I guess we've kind of built up relationships over time, and we are lucky enough to have the investors that we do, but it isn't easy. I'm not going to kind of say that getting the lead investor is easy, because that's what you need in order to be able to do it. And, you know, it has taken us a while to kind of find the investors that get what we're doing, see the vision, and, you know, kind of understand where we're trying to get to. But we do have brilliant investors that are backing us. So we are in a fortunate position, because you do need to have that lead investor to come into your crowd. You can't kind of start from zero. Which, you know, is a really big part of deciding whether you're going to crowdfund or not.
And did you secure that lead investor before the idea to crowdfund and before all of that hard work prep took place, or did it happen like alongside it?
Yeah, well, we knew we wanted to crowdfund at some point, but we didn't do all of the work, you know, until we had the investment and we knew, right, let's do this, because you can't kind of do the work and then not do the crowd campaign. So yeah, we definitely knew we wanted to do it. We did like a Virgin Crowd Boost program, which was really good. Kind of, it talked you through everything you need to know about it and kind of helped you get your head in the game and all the assets that you need for the campaign. But then we then had to secure the lead investor, and then we then kind of did the crowd campaign after that. But it was really good to have done that, to kind of know an idea of kind of what you're going to need to do and how it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely puts you in a good position to know like what's going to come ahead of you
Yeah.
once you got that lead investor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And then with your campaign, was there anything that particularly like went well for you in terms of the outreach and bringing in? Was it, you know, more email? Was it more social? Was it more PR? Was it something else?
Yeah, I guess we've done so much. We've done quite a lot of PR, which has been really good. I think, you know, make sure that you kind of get your message out there and you're sharing that. So we've had really good coverage in the press. The emails, obviously, sending out emails to your pre-reg, that works. But also just the crowd. When you're on CrowdCube, if you hit your milestones, you get visibility. So there's more emails that will go out to the crowd itself. And yeah, it is the combination. You can't just do one thing. You have to you really have to do it all, because you want to bring in new investors as well that get what you're doing, as well as hit the crowd, but as well as move the dial at the same time, so you get more of the milestones, so you get more visibility.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, hit them on all the angles.
Yeah.
And was there anything about like the whole process that's maybe surprised you, or that you just really didn't expect?
I mean, the investor, like being able to speak directly to investors that kind of are asking all the questions. I knew all that was going to happen, but it's kind of, I guess it's quite nice as well. But I think for us, we used LinkedIn outreach as well, which was really, I think, good as well, to kind of connect to your own network, but also like other investors and things. But yeah, I think none of it has been hugely surprising. I think we're lucky that I feel really fortunate. We've got to our targets. We're overfunding. You know, we're in a really good position. So, you know, if we weren't in that position, I would obviously be like not in a good mood. But yeah, it's been really good for us. But you kind of, yeah, it's just, I guess it's just knowing that you're getting that community of people who really care about what you're doing and really buy into it, which really gives validation for you anyway, which is really good for the team as well.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so you've got only, you know, 3 days left and then the campaign is ending.
Yeah.
Do you have any, you know, exciting plans post crowdfunding that you want to share?
Yeah, we'll be adding new features into the app, so that's really exciting. We'll be launching our partner marketing program with charities. So at the moment you can support lots of different things. There's 40 causes you can choose from supporting girls to code when you shop, every time you shop, to, you know, protecting the rainforest and, you know, helping people who are homeless, removing plastics from the ocean. There's lots of great things in there. But we'll be adding more ways to give to good causes into the app, which is really exciting. And we'll be adding our business platform as well. So when you shop, the retailer that you shop at will be able to give to the cause you care about, and your employer will be able to give as well. So yeah, lots of exciting things to look out for those of you who want to have an impact as part of everyday life. Yeah.
And for people to go and, you know, use the app, you just find it on the App Store, download it?
On the App Store. Sustainably, you can visit our website, sustainably.co, and find out more there. Yeah.
And what about for charity partners that might want to join and sign up to it? How do they go about doing that?
Yeah, it's a really simple process. We just send you a link to our portal, and you complete your online submission. And yeah, that's it really. We do a few, we check, we do some compliance checks our end with HMRC and things like that as well. And yeah, we can get charities live in a couple of days.
Awesome. And is it just UK based charities and retailers at the moment?
We have international charities, but you have to have a UK registered entity as a charity, to use the app for fundraising. Yeah.
That's cool. And then stereotypically, with all of the stats out there, women do better at crowdfunding than men. So congratulations, you are a two female founded organization. You're also, you know, working in fintech, and you've done an equity crowdfunding campaign. And although women do better at crowdfunding than men, in the equity sphere, it's always seen as harder. Did you guys find that at all? Did you, you know, struggle because you are a female founded organization?
Yeah, there's so many stats in the market that show that it is harder. So Dana Kanza did some research. If you kind of have heard of that, you should look it up. It's all about the preventative, you get prevention or promotion questions asked, and female founders are more likely to get the prevention questions asked to them. So I guess it's just trying to navigate all of that. And it comes to obviously the networks, and people want to invest in people who are the, you know, like who are the same as them. But there's a lot of work done in the space to kind of address this. And then also it's kind of from a female founder perspective, it's how you answer those questions. So if you dissect it and answer it with a promotion answer, yeah, then you're more likely to get the funding. So it's just bearing in mind that there is unconscious and conscious bias out there. And it is real. Yeah, and most female founders statistically will experience it because it is real. So yeah, we're just really kind of championing female founders, and obviously being aware of those prevention questions. But any female founders out there watching this, you should go and look up Dana Kanza. I think she's done a TED talk on it. Yeah.
And so how do you feel, maybe you haven't even thought about this, but maybe you have, but like, how do you feel kind of knowing that, you know, your successful campaign by two female founders is really going to be at the forefront of like promotion to get more women equity crowdfunding, and one of those like successful case studies probably for, you know, a few years to come?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, you know, we want more women, more female founders, more diverse founders to succeed. So kind of we're all for that. And if we can help in any way, you know, that's great for us.
That's great. And then my last question, which I always give everyone, is, you know, what 3 tips would you, you know, give someone that was in your position maybe a year ago that's thinking about crowdfunding down an equity crowdfunding route?
Yeah, I just say get your lead investor, really have a plan, and get other people to help you. Those are the 3 things. That get the people to help you that know what they're doing. So yeah, I think, you know, it's just definitely be prepared and definitely get help, and, you know, get the lead investor, because you can't do it without that. You need to have a chunk of cash that's been committed. So those are my tips.
Those are very good tips, and I think that anyone listening to this video is really going to learn something and probably, you know, think to themselves, okay, if I'm doing this, I need to do this right. If I'm doing this, I need to do this with strategy. And obviously your background in strategy has come across in your logical order of planning and everything. So thank you very much. You have 3 days left. Is it, you know, go over the weekend, all of the last chance emails going out?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And then Tuesday, you're probably just going to sleep.
Yeah, well, the campaign closes at midnight on Monday, so yeah, I don't know if we're going to stay up till the end and see what happens, but yeah, Tuesday morning we'll kind of see where we've got to, and hopefully it will be a good news.
Definitely. I mean, you're already in overfunding, so that's always a bonus. Well, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to your hectic day of email blasts.
Thanks so much.
Try and have a great weekend, and, you know, good luck, and enjoy Tuesday and the excitement that it will bring.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.